What's up, all you bus nuts geeks? What's up, all you bus nuts geeks and bus enthusiasts? We're on another episode of Busworld, Motorcoach World. Dadgummit. What's up, all you bus nuts geeks and enthusiasts? We're on another episode of Motorcoach World.
I'm sitting here with Zane Gray, Director of Marketing. Is that your title?
That's
for
it.
Daimler Coaches.
Yes.
And Daimler is a huge company. They make, obviously, Mercedes cars, trucks, and now motor coaches.
That's it.
And we're sitting in one. If you haven't checked out the latest vlog I just released on my other channel, J-Wang Vlogs, I captured the entire trip back from Jacksonville, Florida, after we went to pick up two of the Mercedes Tourriders that Peoria Charter just purchased. And we traveled about just over 1,000 miles driving these back here. I really got to familiarize and acclimate and just get to know the coach, because that's the best way to get to know a vehicle.
Put your hands on the wheel, right?
Hands on the wheel and lots of mileage.
Absolutely.
Now, if you guys didn't watch the last video I made on the Tourrider, it was all about the quirks and perks.
We want to say from Daimler Coaches North America that we are excited to partner with James on this real, authentic version of what he sees and feels on the coaches. For us, that is invaluable feedback that you just don't always get. So we're here and we're hoping to answer some of these questions that are out there.
I just want to apologize ahead of time. We're not going to get through every comment, but we're going to pick a couple questions out of the comments. If your comment wasn't answered or question wasn't answered, drop a line down in the comment box below.
We'll do our best to continually answer the true hard questions.
Awesome.
And I'm going to have trouble pronouncing this, but I'm going to give it a shot. I want to say Carol Van Vorstvader, and forgive me if I pronounce this incorrectly. Very impressed with how much knowledge you have on these different models and makes. Where's the second door and driver rest compartment? It's an option. It's just not something normally seen here. When I very first started, gosh, years ago, there were a few models still coming up from Mexico that would come across and have those.
Is that even legal in the U.S.?
Not to my knowledge, but I am no I'm no DOT guy or you know, lobbyist to know the difference. So, but I know that I don't think I would fit very well down in there with my claustrophobia.
I'll take the hotel room. Thank you. I'll opt for the.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Carol. I hope that answered your question.
Absolutely. And this one says, Dufon Rafael, forgive me again, but that's the name on here. It says, looks like it has rear fog lights too, and it does. So we have a switch on the dash for the headlights. Well, if you pull it up once, it's the front fog lights. You pull it up twice, and it adds the rear ones. And we're just trying to add safety items where we can. That's
awesome. Now, in the Perks and Quirks video, I did show a B-roll clip of pulling that up to use the fog lights. I didn't realize there was two detents.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to play with that when I get back. And I know the ones we bought have the rear fog lights.
Correct. I want to mention there's a few of you guys, so I won't mention anybody in particular, but I will say that there's multiple folks that say that this is a facelift from the Turismo or Travago, American Setra. I want to clear some of that up, right? So on a positive note, and James knows this because we were there together.
I saw the factory.
Yeah, you saw it. We have our own area.
They definitely didn't take an existing coach and slap panels on it.
Daimler, our parent company, Daimler Trucks now. I mean, we own obviously Mercedes Benz. We own Freightliner, Western Star, Thomas Built School Buses, Fuso, Detroit Diesel, and much more. We're a very diverse, large transportation company. So when you say facelift of a Turismo or a Travago, well, we started from the frame structure itself. Our customers were saying, guys, we need a stainless steel frame structure. Well, we got you. We built it literally from the ground up to fit our 102 inches wide here in the States, our 45 feet long, but we kept a lot of the safety features from the days of that Setra uses and that Mercedes-Benz uses across.
Just curious, how wide are they in Europe?
I believe it's still 96, but don't quote me. They're still a little bit thinner over there. So we have them a little bit wider. Could be a few off on inches if you know that quoted on there.
Yeah, somebody let us know.
Yeah, it'd be great. But I do want to mention that as a large company, did we utilize a lot of the parts that are in the family parts bin? And the answer is absolutely. This structure is built just for North America, but we went and we found that like our AC control system, we have had a lot of guys mention, oh, that looks like it came out of a Sprinter. Well, that's a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, so it made sense. It works well. We have you know, some buttons on the dash that look like a Freightliner or somebody Cascadia, I think was one of the comments. Sure, it's a part of our family, so we were able to utilize these things that are functioning already. Okay, so I got another one, and I'm going to pronounce this wrong too, but Gilius Thunderhead. Great name, by the way. Love that. You should be like front man of a band. That is amazing, man. Love it.
I want that on a t-shirt.
I'm telling you, it'd be an amazing t-shirt. Yes. You were wondering about seat pitch and seat width on 56 passenger models. Also, if they're equipped with seat belts, where the latch is located. So I don't know if you can truly see where James is at, but I wanted to kind of show you the seat latch here. We really put it underneath the cushion of the seat, and the reason we did that is again to protect. Right, if this stuck up any and you sat down, it hurts. So that's definitely one thing that we looked into as we're making these models. Side note, we do still make our own seats at the plant.
That's cool.
Yes. Another notation that has been, we've heard from operators and from customers, is the slow recline and I guess decline or incline of the seats. I think that's fairly fast. Nice job. You'll see this kind of slowly come back up, but what I want to mention is that even if he didn't press that button, these seats will automatically recline within a few minutes all by themselves. So as all of your passengers leave this bus, drivers out there, how many times if you had to go press that button and recline, make everything look nice, you don't have to do it.
Whoa, so if I left it like this and I walked away,
you can actually see it moving.
Oh my gosh, that's huge. I didn't know that.
That's a great asset, huh?
Yeah.
For you drivers out there, one less thing you got to do all the time.
And the wash crew and the maintenance, yeah.
I'd say secondarily, what's also neat, and I'm going to ask James to move over one seat and show you guys really quickly, is from a cleaning aspect, you can quickly pop up these seats.
Oh my gosh.
And completely clean the bottom of your seats. You have access to your seat belt, your shocks, springs, any of that.
I don't think our techs know this.
Yes, so it's very, very easy to get them on there and put them back on.
Oh, wow.
And that's it.
Holy cow.
So,
is that just a snap?
Yeah, it just snaps right in. Obviously, you got to put it in the right position, as you saw there, but it's a really cool feature for the cleaners, for the drivers, just one less thing they have to do, or make their job much, much easier.
And a 5-year-old coach won't look like the bottom of a kindergartner's desk.
There you go, with all the gums and everything else. You can get to it, cleaners. I'm sorry, but maybe I made your job harder because you got to clean it now.
There's no excuses.
No excuses. We made it easy for you. All right, James. So one more that came through a few different times, a topic, let's say. So that topic talks about the OM471 Mercedes-Benz engine, right? So we've heard a lot of talk about, well, is it a Detroit? Is it not? What I can tell you is we have a world engine, if you will. So I'm going to kind of throw some quotes on that. The world engine is, there are so many similarities. The base of the base of the engine, both in Mannheim, Germany, or in Detroit, Michigan, are very much the same. A lot of the manufacturing processes are just the same. Now, what you might see in the Mercedes-Benz OM471 versus a Detroit diesel is some of the external parts that are just placed in different areas. But yes, guys, if you have a Mercedes-Benz engine, yes, you can take it to any Detroit diesel authorized agent or service provider and get it worked on. So big plus for all you big Detroit fans out there, and we appreciate every one of you guys.
One of you left a comment and said, totally wrong, not same engine. Let us know, please, and I'm not slamming you, I really want to know why you think that, because that could be valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And if you look at it from an external point of view, it looks a little bit different because things are in the different areas, but the internal part of it is very, very much the same. Krabby Milton, I just got to throw your name out there, man. You're cracking me up. First of all, your name and your picture is just awesome. I love it. But multiple times I saw mention of you guys saw some lines in the windshield. You saw some lines in the huge driver's window, which you pointed out this last time. Love the huge driver's window, by the way.
Yes.
I know most drivers do. But yes, so there are defrosters both in the driver's window, the mirrors, and buses normally will come standard with your defroster in the actual the front windshields themselves. So is it an option? Yeah, it's an option. It's an option you can take off. It's an option you can add, but it's really kind of standard for us when we look at it. You know, again, you got the one-piece windshield versus two-piece windshield, and the really big difference for us is the size of our country and the distances we have to go in between service providers. If I left Dallas-Fort Worth and drove to El Paso, which is about an 8.5-hour drive, still in Texas, by the way, I most likely would not hit a service provider within that 8.5 hours. I might hit one in El Paso. But for us, it's a lot easier and more convenient to have the split windshields.
Almost a redundancy thing.
It really is. That's well said.
Because I would say, I know some of you are going to ask, but now you got heating elements in the windows. Does that make the windshield more expensive? I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, the heated windshields are more expensive, but there is an option for a non-heated.
You can buy a non-heated windshield, and I believe that the price of the non-heated windshields is very comparable to those of MCI and Vanpool. I can't wait to see how this thing will perform in the winter, though.
Yeah, and what I can say is that we have tested these coaches, more than 10 test units that we have built to make sure, and we put these units in hot climates, we put these units in cold climates, and we really wanted to test them. So they've been all over the world testing these things. A guy named Daniel, that's his name, period. A guy named Daniel, hey man, I'd love to see these as RVs too. That was your comment. Me too, man. You know, we are keeping all options on the table of what we can do when we grow. Full focus right now, 45-foot models. You know, we want to make sure that for folks like Peoria Charters that we are taking care of them before we start taking steps further. But keep your eye out. Never know what might happen.
Currently, the only length you can get from a Tourrider is the 45-foot, right? You don't make them in.
Correct. Yeah,
the only option is the height.
Yeah, that's the difference, right? And what's really cool about that, and I'm glad you brought that up, is the height is actually in really the belt line of the coach. So from windows up, it's the same coach, and from the floor down, it's the same coach. So if you need to mix and match some of these models in your fleet for various reasons, you can keep the same parts, which is fantastic.
Now, as far as the front goes, the windshields are the same for both the different heights. It's not the windshield that's changing.
Windshield is a little different on both.
Oh, really? So that's okay.
That's the difference.
So you cannot get the same windshield for the premium version with the height. Oh, okay.
Correct.
Because I will say, I did a walkthrough when we had the two demos. You guys sent us a business and a premium.
Yes.
And I kept looking at the brow piece.
Yes.
And where the headlights. And I'm like, where is it where they're adding it? And I couldn't find the difference. So now I know it's the windshield.
That is it. So it's just it's a couple inches, but you know, a couple inches makes a difference when you order the wrong one for sure. Donald Dodson. Hey man, I want to thank you for reaching out and talking about the service network. Right now we have 21 authorized service locations to do full bus service on the Tourriders. These service centers have been trained on everything except bodywork. And they don't plan on adding bodywork, by the way. But these 21 service centers are anywhere from Hawaii to Canada and down into Texas, Florida. We're literally all over. And we want to say thank you to our partners out there who have joined with us and continually training to make sure that we can give the best service for our operators.
So if you buy a Tourrider and you don't have the techs to fix it, you can take it to any of the 21 service centers.
Absolutely.
Okay. One can order body panels too, right?
Absolutely.
So it's not like you're stuck with a damaged coach and you damage it. And are there significant differences as far as detaching body panels, or is it the same? I mean, Mercedes didn't come out with a super high tech. You know.
Yeah. No.
You have to program that luggage door before.
No, for most of our unit, we did keep that very maintenance friendly. Okay, Garage Dwella, and I think I got your name right. Great name again, and some of these are just fun. Hey, you asked about the passenger comfort creatures that are here, right? So we can seat up to 60 passengers, or we can even do a 2-in-1. There's all sorts of options. When I say 2-in-1, that's one on one side, two on the other. So we can do a lot of different things on here. So I don't want you to feel like you're constrained to something as far as those creature comforts go. Wi-Fi, audio, video, footrests, 110 volt plugs with USBs, reading lights, 3-point seat belts. We can do, like I said, larger seats with this 2-in-1 configuration. We can do customized galleys for you all the way in the back. We can do one off to the side. It really, and again, that goes back to what we originally talked about in the beginning about price. The options are endless. What do you want and need for you?
So we could have bought one of these with a galley if we asked for it.
Absolutely.
Wow.
You can do it. I mean, and we custom make the galleys to what you need. We have customers that have galleys with water systems in them, coffee systems in them. You know, some even in Europe, it's very common to have an attendant who's running the galley and serving.
Do they have those little push carts like airplanes have?
You know, I don't know, but that'd be awesome, right?
Bus push carts, bus aisle push carts.
Better put that on like a rail system or something.
Yeah, we got to patent that because these guys are going to steal it.
No, I'm telling you. So
good question. Yeah.
Great question. Sergey Ward, I think I got that right, but I'm working on it, my friend. Is kneeling a manual system like MCI Prevo, or is it more like an automated system? So our kneeling, lowering and raising is all by a push of a button. So push a button, it'll kneel down for you. We do have some safety systems. Door needs to be shut. As we've seen, you know, across North America for the past many years, you park too close to a curb and that door comes down. Well, you've just shut down your trip. So we really try to keep those safety items in place. But yeah, it's just a push of a button, my friend. So I wanted to touch on, and I'm looking at Rip Roaring Garage. Yeah, man, just some great names out here. I really got to think about it.
His name is Alex, actually. Him and I chat on the phone sometimes.
Hey, man. You had mentioned a lot on the braking, and the brakes have come up a lot. So we also mentioned it on the first video, and I don't think we've really touched on the brakes today. So I would like...
No pun intended.
Right. Didn't even catch that, right? Our braking system is an electronic controlled braking system, and it is new. It is different than what a lot of our drivers are used to today.
Smart brakes.
It really is a great name for it.
Is this common in Europe?
Yes. Okay. It's all we use. But the system isn't new. It's been around for many years and been proven. So why electronic brakes? Well, it allows a lot of our electronic systems like your adaptive cruise, your active brake assist 5, and many of these other safety items to really work congruent with the bus, right? If it was a manual brake or just the old push, you know, hydraulic, I think it was brakes, you know, air brakes, any of that, it can't talk and help the driver control the bus. So it's about safety for the passengers. Now, another positive about those brakes, okay, is if this bus is fully loaded or fully empty, you as the driver will not feel the difference. It is intuitive enough to know how much it's got, how far it's going, how much braking you're putting into it.
Same amount of brake authority.
Yeah, same amount. Now, if you run into an emergency type situation, right, the bus will read, with all functions working, the bus will read and see how far you are and see that distance. And if it says, oh, okay, you're only giving me 50% brake, but you're really needing 70% to really stop in time, not for this to be an accident or not to have to hit a real hard brake in the end, it's going to add to that braking percentage for you.
Oh, okay.
Right. So as a driver, we try our best to try to mitigate any of that, but this is just an assistance system to, again, help out.
Okay. But I will say that I can just see that that's going to scare some people. That's going to scare the people that don't want some other thing controlling something as critical as stopping.
So in a situation where you gave it 50%, you should have been giving it 70%, and the bus takes over, it's taking over at a smooth rate. It's not taking over at a certain, you know, 50% or, you know, 75%.
It's not just going to slam on the brakes.
Right. They're not going to come flying forward, right? I mean, unless it truly has to, because there's a true emergency situation, it's going to keep it as smooth as it possibly can. And I think that's why ABA 5 is the way to go. So
but if I get used to the fact that this bus helps me brake, if that should fail, will a light warn me before I find out that's a great question. That, hey, this isn't working, and you know, because I've already been lured into that false sense of security.
Yeah, and that's a great transition into some of the training that we're going to be doing with you guys here real soon. When one of the systems may fail, which, if we're honest with each other, systems at times do.
Yeah.
The bus lets you know. Now, if it's an emergency situation, the driver's going to see a red flag, let's call it, on the dash. You know, if it's a system where they may need to stop the bus, right? And I'm not talking just brakes, as we're talking brakes here. But if one of the systems, let's say one of the systems got totally snowed up up here, it's not going to happen in Texas every 200 years. But if it was to get totally snowed up and the radar can't function, will it let you know? That's a great question, and the answer is yes. Yes, it absolutely will let you know that the side guard assist or your active brake assist radar is covered up with too much of something. So the answer is yes, absolutely.
And at that point, the driver should heighten his or her sense of awareness.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So that's about all the time we have for questions. A couple of things that I talked about in the Quirks and Perks. Just going to go through real quickly. A lot of that stuff that are actual quirks are things that, you know, we're not used to, like the self-locking fuel door.
Right.
Some would call that a quirk, some would call that a perk. You said they were working on the wheelchair door hinges.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that, you know, we have it right now. As you had mentioned, I think you explained it perfectly, that it's a double hinge, right? So it works on a 2-hinge, and it's a training feature. It's just not something we're used to.
Scare some of the drivers.
Yeah, but it's just a training aspect for us that we can work with you on.
Yeah,
absolutely. You know, the locking fuel door, people ask, why do you lock your fuel doors? Well,
I think that's smart.
It's actually really smart because when you're away from your coach and you got some guy that needs some diesel fuel, well, it's pretty easy to get in there and siphon that out. So
there's talk right now, and I don't know if it'll happen, but there is active dialogue going on about actually lowering them a little bit. Yeah, these are very small compared to the industry standard, but yeah, lowering these will give a lot more room on the overhead. And I will say, Americans travel a lot heavier than Europeans.
Way. We've tried to make this as large and as open feeling as possible. You know, so it's always that catch-22. Some want them lower, some want doors, some don't, some want lights, some don't. So it's we're trying to meet that happy medium to make sure that we meet the expectation of all North American operators that we can.
Are you saying it's hard to make everyone happy at the same time?
You know, sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. But I want to thank you guys for allowing me the opportunity, James. I want to thank you for handing me some of these questions. As Daimler Coaches North America, we want the hard feedback so that we can continually grow as a company with you guys.
And I just gotta say, Zane, the fact that you came out here and you guys haven't seen Corey yet. Corey, what's his title with Daimler?
Corey Sanders is the Midwest technician for this area.
Corey's here today too, and I believe next week there's 2 engineers from Germany.
There's one from the Netherlands and one from Germany.
That is coming to Peoria Charter to check on us, to make sure that the things that we need answered are answered. And I would say that in itself speaks a lot about how serious Daimler coaches are about making sure this product's going to thrive and do good.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time, appreciate your candor. Thank you guys for your comments, and please keep them coming. If you have questions that James or I can answer, I'm going to do a better job of getting on there and really answering some of those. Hey, if you've got opinions that are opposing, that's okay too.
Check out Daimler Benz's Facebook page. I will put the link down below. And are you guys going to get a YouTube channel up?
It will be up sooner than later, I promise you. So all of you looking for the videos and whatnot, it's coming, I promise.
And as always, if you guys are watching this, you are part of the motorcoach world. Awesome.
Thanks, man.
Thanks,
that was great.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah,
I can't wait to